Our first red wine is called Le Rouge, and this is made from 80% Grenache. Our Grenache here at our estate is on schist, southern exposure, and we were really expecting a soft round wine, which is what you find in Fougères and this type of soil, but it is really quite amazing. It has a very, very strong minerality and a lot of acidity. Why? We don't know. We find it's a real peculiarity of the terroir. Perhaps the fact that we're using wild yeast as well is encouraging this style of wine, but it was a wine that had such a personality that even though our original objective was to make a red with the Syrah Grenache Mourvèdre blended, we thought the wine had this Grenache had so much character that we wanted to keep it apart. So, well, the grapes are picked, we're sorted on a sorting table, goes to tank, stainless steel tank. We plunge very gently twice a day. We don't start plunging until the fermentation starts to happen naturally, so it actually has a soaking really of 5 days before the fermentation starts, and then just a gentle plunging twice a day during the fermentation, which takes roughly 2 weeks, and then another week or two gentle extraction, tasting every day to decide when we've reached enough extraction, and then pressed. It's then aged in stainless steel tank. Our top red is called Carmina Major, which means the big red in Latin. It's made from Syrah Mourvèdre. Our Syrah Mourvèdre is north-facing blocks, argilo-calcaire and basalt, and the idea here was to make a more of a peppery style Syrah with a lot of freshness and resembling more a wine from the north of France than the south. This wine is aged in wood. All the Syrah and Mourvèdre is aged in wood with roughly 40% new oak, and the Syrah and the Mourvèdre are aged apart and then blended. After 1 year in barrel, they get blended together and then allowed to stay in stainless steel tank another 6 months before bottling, because we believe that the last 6 months in a stainless steel tank, once the blend has been made, is a whole important part of the aging process of the wine, where the wine really comes together, and we believe this is really an essential part to have the wine ready when it goes to bottle. For me, the wines all have a common feature. We make wines that are based on fruit, but it doesn't end there. Following the fruit, you have a refreshing feature. And this is a mix of acidity, because we specifically chose argilo-calcaire, basalt, schist, soils which give acidity and minerality, plus a slight bitterness, not a bitterness in a negative way, but a slight bitterness which is very, very refreshing. And here we're in the south of France, and for us, wine is a gastronomic product. It's a wine to be drunk at the table. And the acidity and the bitterness is all a part of appreciating wine and appreciating your food. It's the whole concept of digestibility and a correct match. Food and wine is all about balancing taste and acidity and salt and bitterness. And for me, our wines, and it is our object, is to make wines that are refreshing and which match perfectly well with food.